What's up guys, it's the FPL Scotsman here and welcome back to another FPL video, and today we are going to be going through what happened in Game Week 16 and look ahead to Game Week 17. And as a bonus in this video I will be revealing a free hit draft for Game Week 18. As I revealed in the last episode, that would be my chip strategy this week, this year. So I've sort of roughly made a draft on what team I'll be using and what players that will be, the core of that team. And I will reveal that at the end of the video. But first of all, we are going to get into this game week 16, which in summary was probably the worst game week of the season so far. But although a lot of stuff didn't go well for me, I think a lot of stuff went worse for others. So I did dodge a few bullets, and there were a few players that stepped up and allowed me to get a green arrow this week, which was to 111k ish, about that. That could go up a bit more because I'm not sure if the rank that I'm getting right now is taking into account the Son and Kane captainers, like whether or not that will take into account the vice captainship yet. So I'm not sure whether I will still be at 111k, but so that could easily change from now until tomorrow. But as of right now, I'm taking it as a strong 30k green arrow, which I'm really pleased about. So I'm going to bring up my Game Week 16 team. I think I should have it there. There we go. Right. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff in this game week that didn't go well for me, and a lot of stuff that did go well for me. Just to clarify, there are bonus points here that have not been added up. Only Robertson's. Robertson got 3 bonus points, so he's up to 9. But yeah, as you can clearly see, there's probably about 2 players in that team that I was really disappointed with, and there were 3 in particular that I was really pleased with. So obviously starting to go with Martinez and Grealish. For Villa, again, watching Villa against Chelsea was a really, really good game, and I probably thought Villa maybe deserved to win the game, to be honest. They were really good again, and it's another game week where I look at it and I think Grealish has played well. He's not been poor. He's he's in space. He's creating opportunities. He's making things happen, but at the same time, it's the Watkins, El Ghazi, and Traore, who are not bad players, but they're not your Mohamed Salah and Aguero and all these, and Kane, who are putting these chances away. And it's another blank for Grealish. But when watching him, it doesn't feel like a blank because it feels like he's playing well, and I want him in my team. It's a really sticky. It's a bit of a weird situation with Grealish, but with my transfer plans for the double game week, I'm not looking to move him on, obviously. And Martinez, well, I wasn't expecting a clean sheet, and to be honest, they conceded a really poor goal, Villa, and apart from that, Chelsea didn't really bother them too much. So, in some ways, I'm pretty disappointed that I didn't get a clean sheet for Martinez. But going into the game, I didn't really expect a clean sheet away at Chelsea, so 3 points for that I'm pretty happy with as well. So all in all, the Villa boys I'm sticking with. I've got through one of the tough fixtures in Chelsea away, and then I think they got Man United next, which, to be honest, although United have been playing well, I think Grealish and Martinez can pick up points for me at Old Trafford. So I'm not too worried about that either. So yeah, I think Villa was a decent performance. I think then obviously the Everton Man City game got called off, which I had already chosen to bench Calvert-Lewin, so I didn't know if that made that sense then. And Cancelo, obviously disappointed not to have him play because he had a really good game at the weekend. But at the same time, there's positives there. He's then going to be rested in midweek, and it means he almost definitely starts at the weekend against Chelsea, which is still a decent fixture because Chelsea aren't playing that well at the moment. So at the same time, it's not the end of the world. And that allowed me to bring on Solchek and Kilman eventually. We'll get to that in a second. But looking at the Everton, the back line, obviously Robertson with the 9 points. Again, I was expecting the Liverpool clean sheet. I was just hoping you'd get a bit of more of an attack in return. He had a few chances in the first half, um, a few assists, and there was one where he whipped in a cross for Firmino, missed an open goal. It just wasn't really Liverpool's night at all. Um, but Robertson getting the 3 bonus points though is terrific because although he didn't get an assist, 9 points is still a really good return for the ownership he has. And, the Salah captaincy at the end of the day, with, the Son and Kane captainers getting their vice captain of Salah. Salah not doing anything doesn't really affect me rank wise, although it is disappointing to see him miss 2 or 3 really big chances. Um, and it does make me a little concerned to captain him next week. But we'll get to that in a few moments or so. So Salah, Robertson, okay display. Robertson, I'm really happy with. Salah could do a bit better. Then Charlie Taylor, he was my transfer in this week. For who was it again? Was it Lamptey? So Lamptey was injured anyway, and what really annoys me is 8 minutes in, he pulls up with a hamstring injury, goes off the field, and then Burnley see out the clean sheet, which disappoints me because Taylor probably would have got 6 points and maybe a few bonus points. So that is disappointing, but that isn't really what I'm more disappointed in the fact that he might miss out in the double game week and he misses out in Fulham next week, because Burnley have confirmed as a hamstring. I'm not planning on selling him this week. I'm going to look to probably sell one elsewhere because I really hope he's back for the double game week. I don't want to sell him and then he's back and then regret the decision. So I'm going to probably going to, bench him next week and hope for the best, really. But yeah, disappointed because those clean sheet points probably would have taken me into the top 100k. But it is what it is. Bruno, again, United didn't play that well that game, and Bruno had a really bad game himself. But yet again, even if it's the first minute, the 60th minute, whatever, 90th minute, he pops up with an assist and a clean sheet point. 6 points isn't bad, but out of all the big hitters this week, he's scored the most. So I mean, you can't really complain about that. And then obviously, the Spurs game got called off, which probably has a big impact on a lot of people. I didn't own Reguilon, Lookman, Kane, so Dyer, so I wasn't really tremendously affected. It was just Son for me, and Kilman comes off the bench with 2 points. And to be honest, I was a little scared about the Harry Kane captainers. So actually, it's probably a blessing in disguise that the Spurs game's been called off. So pretty happy about that. Now, aside from Robertson, this is probably Leeds probably saved my game week this week. What a performance away from home at West Brom. Patrick Bamford, again, probably the first assist he made maybe isn't an assist, it's a bit of a jammy one, but he comes with 8 points for the second consecutive game week. For the price he's at, it's an absolute ridiculous bargain. So really happy to own Patrick Bamford. And Dallas, he's popped up with a few goals and he had a clean sheet last week. But I think this is the first time he's got a double-digit haul, so I'm tremendously happy to own him. And his price is going to go up and up and up. And I had Dallas for a while at 4.5, and now he's really delivering per week. 12 points, clean sheet, assist, 3 bonus points. Could not be happier about Stuart Dallas right now. And again, it comes to the point though, all those 30% owners of Dallas are going to have those 12 points this week because of everybody will be using their bench this week because of the postponements. So it comes to the point where, I could have, in another week, got more out of those 12 points. But again, really happy about that. And then finally to end on I'm probably going to lightly cover the Souček and Kilman. I mean, Souček away at Southampton, yeah, it was more, though he had a big chance in the first half with a header, but it didn't quite fall his way. But, 3 points, and then Kilman, you're looking at a minute to a jammy 7-pointer from Kilman, which I would have preferred to the Bruno 6 points, but you get what you get and you don't get upset. So yeah, Kilman and Souček happy to come on, and Kilman playing the 90 minutes again makes me kind of think about what I'm going to do for next week, and I'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, to close off with Che Adams again, That's the second consecutive game week where he has an assist ruled out for offside, and another day he gets 10 points from 2 games, and I would be happy. Comes off in the 57th minute, doesn't get the second point. Pretty disappointing all round, to be honest. Not planning on playing him against Liverpool. I don't think he's going to get a sniff. But again, he's more or less there for the double game week anyway, so I'm not going to be too upset about it. So all in all, 53 points, 111,000 in rank, and I'm probably looking next week to break into that top 100k, hopefully. But I'll bring my team up in just a moment. I'm forgetting which one actually is my team for next week. I'm going to cover my team for next week, and then we're going to go into my free hit team. I think this is the team for next week. Yes, it is. Okay. So, I'm going to walk through my transfer plan and what I'm going to do for this week. Now, obviously, as you guys know, the free hit will be game week 18, and which means I cannot roll a transfer this week and use 2 and 19. That doesn't work. So I have to make a transfer this week. Now, obviously, the original plan was to own. Not own. The original plan was to transfer at Kilman for Balbuena of West Ham. Now, obviously, things have changed since then. Charlie Taylor pulling up the hamstring, and Kilman gets 90 minutes. Now, the thing is, if Charlie Taylor didn't get the hamstring, I just played Charlie Taylor, sell Kilman for Balbuena, and we're fine. However, Charlie Taylor's now injured, so then I'm sort of left in position of, well, I bring Balbuena in, but he plays Everton away, or I play Dallas with Spurs away. And although Dallas did really well last week, Dallas is not going to get a clean sheet. You might get an assist or a goal maybe, but that's, a little bit unlikely. Spurs are going to score goals in that game against Leeds. It's going to be such an open game. So I'm not against playing Dallas, but it could be a 7-pointer, or it could be a -1, or it could be a 0, or it could be a 1. So I'm not sure about playing Dallas. It's more of a gamble. Whereas Kilman playing 90 minutes, playing a Brighton side who are struggling to score goals, create chances, Wolves who are resolute defensively, almost kept a clean sheet away at United, which not a lot of teams have done this season. And I'm thinking that's going to be a clean sheet for Wolves. So maybe I maybe just gamble on Kilman playing. If Kilman doesn't play, so be it. Dallas comes on. So I think that's what I'm going to do this week. I think I'm going to take the gamble on Max Kilman. I don't think he will play, but I may as well give it a shot, because if he does play and gets the clean sheet, we're laughing. Not a lot of people own those defenders at the moment, so it's a risk I'm willing to take, I think. And Charlie Taylor sits on the bench, and I think this week I'll upgrade the goalkeeper. And then game week 19, we go from either Taylor to Balbuena if Taylor is still unfit, or we go from Kilman to Balbuena if Taylor's fit. So I think that's the plan. Go with Forster to Meslier this week, I think. I was looking at goalkeepers who have the double and who have a good fixture this week to play over Martinez, but it seems like it's only really Nick Pope is 5.5. I can't afford it. Fabianski is 5.1, but if I go someone over 5 million, I can then upgrade to Kilman if I need to in Game Week 19. So I'd rather go to like McCarthy or Meslier or Johnson or Areola. Areola does have Burnley this week though, so I might go to Areola. He also has a double game week, but Areola's double game week is really bad. So I've not decided on which goalkeeper I'm going to bring in yet. It's either going to be Meslier, it's going to be Areola, it's going to be Johnson, or it's going to be McCarthy. So one of those four I will be bringing in. And yeah, Che Adams getting benched and Souček starting. Again, I think Souček is going to have a bit bigger threat against Everton from set plays than Adams is against Liverpool. Just the way I see it. And finally, the captaincy. Well, I had it on Salah, and then after what I saw tonight, I'm a bit more, not really too confident. I feel like Son, with a full week's rest, Leeds are going to come out and play, which means Son's going to be able to, hitting the counter. I think Son's going to get points there. I think Fernandes will find it hard against Villa. I think Salah will find it hard against Southampton. So I think Son's probably the best captain this week. I imagine a lot of people are going to go for Kane this week, and that's what I'm afraid of. But if Son can come away with that with a lot of points, then that's a dub. Okay, so yeah. Apart from that, really, the team stays the same. Again, Cancelo away at Chelsea doesn't bother me. If Chelsea aren't playing that well, Cancelo's going to start. So yeah, Martinez, Robertson, Kilman, Cancelo, Soucek, Salah, Son, Grealish, Fernandes, Calvert-Lewin, Bamford. That will be the team this week. And I'm hoping Calvert-Lewin can get a goal this week. He's not done that in a while, so fingers crossed. That is the team for next week. If I make any last captain decisions or play Dallas over Kilman and do the Taylor transfer or anything, or which goalkeeper I'm bringing in, make sure to go and follow me on Twitter at FPL Scotsman, and I will be posting my team an hour before the deadline, and you can check it out. And yeah, this at the moment is going to be my team for game week 17. Now we're going to go into game week 18. This is the plan I have for the 3 hits in game week 18. I don't want anyone to be getting too judgy on this in the comments section, because again, it's going to change. I'm telling you right now, this is not the team I'm going to be doing in game week 18. As of right now, this is roughly what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to make a few changes here and there. I'm going to talk through it a bit. I wish I probably could bring up the fixtures for next game week, but I'll just pull them up on my phone here. And when planning for this game week 18, I wanted to look at the fixture list and just look at the main fixtures that I think points are going to be there for. There's a few fixtures in the game week 18 that I know for a fact I'm not gonna, there's not gonna be a lot of points to gain from them, and the fixtures are Sheffield United, Newcastle, Wolves, Everton, Villa, Tottenham, City, Brighton, Arsenal, Palace. And the 2 fixtures straight away that are not going to get you a lot of points is Arsenal, Palace, and Wolves, Everton. So I think the games to target obviously are City, Brighton. What I would give people advice for when you're doing the game week 18 free hit is to 100% triple up on City. And because City have been really poor in attack, I'm, as of right now, choosing to double up on the defence. Cancelo I've been absolutely delighted with recently. Diaz is the other City defender I'd go for if it wasn't Cancelo. And Kevin De Bruyne, well, he's the only one that's going to start. Sterling probably will, but Mahrez, Torres, Foden, you're not going to know if they're going to play. So De Bruyne is a safe bet really. So I'm happy those 3 are probably not going to change. I'm probably going to stick with the 3 City players there. Then the second big fixture you're looking at Villa Tottenham. Now obviously I'm not banking on a Villa clean sheet or a Spurs clean sheet really, to be honest. I think there's going to be goals for both teams in that game. So immediately I look to Son, Kane and Grealish. That's my 3 there. And then I'm looking at Reguilon. Again, Reguilon's one where at 5.7 I could maybe invest better into the strike force, maybe upgrade Calvert-Lewin to someone else maybe. So I'm not too sure about that. But as of right now, you've got to keep in mind that you can't just stock up your bench because it is only for 1 week. And as long as you have people who are playing on your bench, it doesn't really matter too much. So I think Reguilon there is a good pick because he's attacking and he's gained assists and not scored yet, but Spurs on their day might keep a clean sheet. You never know. So they've been good defensively this season, Spurs. So yeah, Reguilon seems like a decent pick to me. And then the next game, which I find really, really important, is the Sheffield United Newcastle game. As we all know, Sheffield United have been dreadful this season. Newcastle is picking up a point against Liverpool. And Newcastle have been good on the road this season, winning at Palace as well. So they've been quite good. And I immediately look at Sheffield United away and think, okay, clean sheet probably is going to be in the bag here if Newcastle are defending well. So that's when I immediately look at the goalkeeper and Kieran Clark. Now, Kieran Clark probably won't start in my team. He'll probably be on my bench to cover in case one of the City boys gets benched or Reguilon gets benched, as Cancelo and Reguilon sometimes get benched. You never know. So Kieran Clark's there to cover that. But it'll be Darlow and Wilson who start. Again, Wilson's been terrific this season. I owned him for the Fulham home game where he got 9 points. And Sheffield United defensively aren't looking the best. So I think Wilson's a brilliant pick. And then lastly, you're looking at, well, the Arsenal Palace, Wolves Everton, and I think, well, Calvert-Lewin's going to be slightly on that game week, so I may as well have him in. And if Calvert-Lewin does pick up a goal, I'm going to lose rank in that, so I need to go with Calvert-Lewin and hope. And in terms of the others in that game, well, Wilfred Zaha and Saka, I've been really impressed with the Arsenal midfield recently, the youngsters. So I think Saka's a good option. And Zaha, again on this day at that Arsenal defence, could be good. So it would be either as Zaha or Saka, depending on who starts for that game week. And then the Foster and Kilman, they're there to make up the budget. They're not going to be used. So the team is probably going to be Darlow, Reguilon, Diaz, Cancelo, Grealish, De Bruyne, Son, Zaha, Wilson, Kane, Calvert-Lewin, and that's probably going to be the free hit team. But again, as I said before, this is only a draft. A lot of it probably will change. So we'll see. But yeah, that seems to be the team I'm going to go with for game week 18. And in game week 19, you guys saw in the last episode what my team is going to look like for that game week. And obviously some of that may be disrupted due to the Charlie Taylor injury. So yeah. I'll come next episode, which will be covering game week 17 and previewing 18. I will go over how my plans have changed for game week 19, whether Charlie Taylor is happening or whatever. But yeah, that is my game week 18 team. So thank you guys for watching, and again, it's not been the best game week, but I feel like I've come out on top with the green arrow. And yeah, I mean, for all of you guys who didn't have the best game week, you just move on to the next one. You know, like 1 week you could be 2 million in rank, and then next week 500k, just out of, you know, an amazing game week. So you never know. FPL is a funny game to play. So just stick with it and don't give up with it, and then, you know, see what happens. So that's going to be the end of the video. Remember to follow my Twitter. I'll be giving daily advice and, you know, daily reactions to games, and posting my teams and my, you know, my transfers and everything. And if you want to interact with me on Twitter, ask me a few questions about your team and everything. I will be there to answer them. So remember to subscribe and like and follow my Twitter. And I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be the Game Week 17 reactions, which should be next Tuesday, after the day after the Liverpool game against Southampton. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.